And the people, what up? I think we might be in the darkest times as Panther fans. Very much Panther Sports. Thanks for joining. Before I get started, you may have noticed the set looks a little bit different right now. That's because I have a very special partnership with a business you may have heard of in North Davidson. It's called Queen and Cotton. It is a small business in North Davidson, NODA, if you guys know the area, of course. And they create some of the best t-shirts that I have seen in the area. Now, if you know me, I love to travel. I love going to Carolina Panthers games, whether at Charlotte or on the road, whether it's somewhere like a Seattle or Detroit, which I've been before. And while some people get postcards, I like getting shirts from the area itself, whether it's from a brewery. But in this case, this is a small business that not only makes t-shirts about celebrating all things Charlotte, it celebrates Carolina Panthers, it celebrates Charlotte FC, it celebrates the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I'm a Raptors guy, but I'm 100% a Panthers person, and when I stumbled upon their website, I realized the kind of the blend that they have of like traditional American traditional tattoos as well as West Coast style. I was like, this thing speaks to me. I reached out to Travis, who's an absolute stud, and they make amazing gear. Also, if you are in the Charlotte area, they crop your shirts for free. Also, if you're kind of pissed off at the Carolina Panthers right now and you want to buy merch still to show that you're still a fan, but you don't want to put more money in the team's pockets, specifically David Tepper's pockets, well, then you can support small businesses like Queen and Cotton. They deliver all over the U.S. I'm in Canada. They delivered here as well. And also, you can just check out their store in North Davidson. Give them a shout. They have great shirts. This is the one I got right now. It says Sunday Fun Day. They have another one I know on their website that says Sunday Fun Day, Mondays are going to suck, something like that. That's probably during a dark time of the Carolina Panthers, which is not unusual. So this one here, got again, the American traditional type cat, Felix the cat type, and the shirt fits great. I'm like 5'11 and a half, 205, 10 pounds. I don't skip leg day, but I'm wearing a large. This is how it fits. Hugs the biceps in the right place. Fits perfect. You can take it to the gym. You can take it to the brewery. You can take it to the game. I'm going to have the link below here. You can go to their store. You can have the promo code. Just put in POST, P-O-S-T, 10. Get yourself 10% off. Support the small business. Don't support the gigantic multi-billionaire conglomerate that is the Carolina Panthers right now. They do not deserve our money. We saw some of their PSL packages. So support the small business. These are just some of the shirts. You got the one behind me here, winning and losing. We know something about that, more so on the latter. And then Carolina Reaper, our friends over at For Panther Fans Only. They started the trend. They got after it as well. It's a great shirt. Get them both. That's what it's all about. Again, post 10 in the promo. Get yourself 10% off. Support them. All right, let's get back to the regularly scheduled program right now. Again, that is post 10 to get 10% off Queen and Cotton. But what were we talking? Oh, yeah, the Panthers suck. They don't suck. They like legendarily suck. And they're sucking so bad that we're getting content creators just retiring. Just like, I'm done. Just throwing in the microphone, throwing away the headset, like, I'm over this. These guys have been doing it since 2019, I believe, so 2 years before me. And they're like, we literally have families now. We have children, and we cannot set up the time to talk about this Carolina Panther team that gives very little in return. And it literally made Bleacher Report. Like, Bleacher Report literally did an article about this podcast, just throwing the white flag, like, we're done. And so I just want to let you guys know, I respect that decision. I hope you come back. Hopefully they give you a reason to come back, not just come back because, you know, something horrible happened, like David Tep. Well, that'd be a good thing if David ever sold the team. But we'll talk more about Tep. But, you know, if Bryce Young had a season-ending injury or they traded him for a bag of peanuts, something like that, like, hopefully you come back for a good reason. You know, they somehow turn it around and go to the wild card. I hope you come back. I also want to let you guys know I'm not going anywhere. I started this channel when they traded for Sam Darnold. I thought it was bonkers, and I just fired up the camera during the pandemic, and here we go. I was already doing something weird. I was talking with the Carolina Panthers in Canada, so that's already out of the ordinary, and it literally takes me 20 minutes to do it every day. I'm not streaming for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm not doing that. You know, 20 minutes a day, minimal editing. You guys appreciate it. I appreciate you, and so it's not going anywhere. I'm going to be here, and is it annoying to talk about how crap they've been and how crap they drafted and just the mind-numbingly annoying it's been every Sunday to watch the Panthers and then watch everybody else, and it seems like they just make everything look easy. It sucks. It sucks. But in my head, the way I think of it is every Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, when we're kind of like half in the bag, making dinner and all that stuff, we're like, why do I follow this team? Why do I follow this team? And I tell myself, look, there are Browns fans out there. There are, before this year, Jaguar fans out there. There are New York Jets fans out there. The Oakland Raiders literally lost their team. They are now in Las Vegas. If you don't have the means, you're never seeing your team ever again. Even the Los Angeles Chargers, do they even really have a fan base? They left San Diego, and now they're in LA, and they're now renting space for the Los Angeles Rams. So they are the Clippers of the NFL. So you got Chargers fans. Yes, they're heading in a better direction than the Carolina Panthers, but I'm just saying they're there. So you got the Browns. You got the Jets. Recently, before the last couple of years, you had Lions fans. Those people have content creators. They have beat reporters who get paid money by ESPN, by CBS to follow them, by Bleacher to follow them on the beat. And so in my head is, okay, if there are going to be, and there are numerous Browns content creators. There are numerous Cowboys content creators. And the Cowboys have not been good since I was grade 5. So if they can exist, and I can exist then, because I cover a team at least that has been to the Super Bowl twice since I've been in high school. There are some teams who would beg to be in the Super Bowl in their adult life. The Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, the Cleveland Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals. In their life, they would like to be in the Super Bowl. Panther fans have experienced it twice. In the 2000s, there's some people who are still waiting to go back to the Super Bowl since the 60s, maybe ever. Detroit Lions, they would like to go to a Super Bowl. Panthers fans have been to 2. So hopefully we get to another one eventually. It doesn't look good right now, but I'm not going anywhere, because when it does happen, I'm going to be here and I'm going to celebrate with you guys. So as I mentioned, the Panthers are far off from winning a Super Bowl, and it seems like the vibes are so low. I'm very interested to see what happens in this next home game, only their second home game in 5 weeks. I wonder what the turnout's going to be, because as I've said thousands of times, Twitter's not a real place. X is not a real place. YouTube isn't really a real place. We represent like a small fraction of the fan base. You go out there, there's people who don't know who the hell Chandler Zavala is. They don't know who Rico Dowdle is. They just go because they're PSL owners and they go to games, they're having a good time. And that's what it's all about. It's a nice Sunday out. You get drunk, you go, win or lose, you're having a good time. It doesn't really mean anything to you. They don't have to sit down on a camera and talk about it after and then preview the next game a couple days after that. No, they just have a good time. So, but I'm interested to see, because vibes were high from what I understand in that first home opener against Atlanta Falcons. Someone even mentioned these vibes were similar to 2015. So I wonder what the drop off is going to be in this game against the Miami Dolphins team, who also is 1-3. And so I'm not feeling particularly good about this game, because the Panthers, the way they got beat the F up by the New England Patriots, but also now they're going to do it without their number one running back in Chuba Hubbard, who is out with a calf injury. They got Rico Dowdle. They got Travis Etienne, or Trevor Etienne. I still trying to figure that out. I'm sorry. I'm Phil Perkins. My brother's Pierce Perkins. I don't know what's up with parents trying to keep my kids' names both start with the same letter. I don't know why parents do this, but so not like they ran the ball a lot, but they're going to be doing it without their captain, without their leading rusher from last year, and they're going to also do it without Chandler Zavala, who's out again. He's on the IR. That's like, what the hell's going on right now with this team? But so yeah, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good at all. And is it the fault of a Dave Canales and Dan Morgan? Partially, but I also think the situation we find ourselves in right now is a little bit of the previous regime, Scott Fitterer and company. Case in point, Chandler Zavala. He is the latest person in that 2023 draft that probably won't be on the team next year. 2023 was 2 years ago. And right now, out of that draft class, you still have Bryce Young for now. For how long? We don't know. You don't have Jonathan Mingo. He's with the Dallas Cowboys. You don't have DJ Johnson. They released his ass after being absolutely horrible against the Patriots. You have Chandler Zavala, but the guy can't stay healthy. His rookie year, he wasn't healthy. He's still not healthy. The guy can't play a whole season. He's supposed to be reliable. Your best ability is availability. He's not there. Jamie Robinson, is he in the league anymore? I don't think so. That is what is killing us, because you just lost Chuba Hubbard, who would normally, they drafted him during the Matt Rule year, so he's been here a while. Who would have actually been his backup? Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks would have been his backup, but he's not. Why? Because he tore the exact same ACL in back-to-back years. But you knew he was coming off an ACL injury coming out of Texas. You drafted him anyways early in that draft. And now he's unavailable. Will he ever suit up for the Panthers? Honestly, I don't think so. He will not. You don't have Xavier Leggett. You don't have Xavier Leggett because he has a hamstring injury or because he's getting silently benched. Normally, that shouldn't be a problem if you hit on Jonathan Mingo. But you didn't hit on Jonathan Mingo. He's not on the team anymore. Who could you have drafted instead of Jonathan Mingo? Who are some of the names in the second round of the 2023 draft that you could have picked up and could have probably still been contributing? Luke Musgraves, tight end out of Green Bay. Marvin Mims, wide receiver, Denver Broncos. Rashee Rice makes very questionable, stupid decisions in the offseason, but the Kansas City Chiefs, seemingly without him, look lost. You could have had any one of those skill position players, but they were adamant that Jonathan Mingo was the guy. And guess what? Not even 3 years later, he's on another team, also not doing a damn thing. In the next round, you got DJ Johnson, who you traded up for. You traded up for that guy. He is physically not on the team anymore either. Who could you have gotten in that draft, in that round? Yaya Diaby, who is a contributor with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Devin Akane, who is the running back out of the Miami Dolphins, who they're going to be facing off this week unless he's injured. Those are also two contributors that you could have had. Now, when you take a look at, round 4, round 5, finding contributors in that round, doesn't matter who you are, is tough. That's kind of finding diamond in the rough right there. But just in that moment, in the second round, you drafted Jonathan Mingo when you could have had Luke Musgrave, Marvin Mims, Rashee Rice. You didn't do it. You could have had Yaya Diaby, Devin Akane. You didn't. You got DJ Johnson. DJ Johnson, not working well. Yaya Diaby, put him on. Xavier Leggett, hurt. Don't worry. Marvin Mims is going to contribute. Rashee Rice is going to contribute. Luke Musgrave is going to contribute. Right now, what we're dealing with, in his exact same draft, Xavier Leggett, not hacking it. Oh, who could they traded up to get him in the first round? Who was picked after him? Oh yeah, friggin' Ladd McConkey. And they're still trying to find that guy who is a Ladd McConkey, a route god, a guy who can get separation, a speedy dude, sure hands. Still haven't found that person. Maybe it's Jimmy Horn. Is Jimmy Horn that guy? They're now throwing desperation darts. They're kind of like a Marvel movie right now. They're trying to get, as many nostalgic hits as possible with fans. That's the Carolina Panthers right now. They're a sinking ship, it seems like, and they just want to make fans happy, and they want Jimmy Horn. And now they're saying this offense is built for Jimmy Horn. He's going to get a helmet, even though the last 4 weeks he wasn't getting a single chance, even when Xavier Leggett and Jalen Coker aren't playing. But what I'm saying is, all these injuries wouldn't have been as bad if the drafts from previous regimes were just better. And even with this regime, the drafting of Jonathan Brooks, not the drafting of Ladd McConkey, is biting this team in the ass. Because Ladd McConkey producing, Jonathan Brooks not playing. Instead, we got Rico Dowdle stepping up. I have confidence in him. I think he runs angry. I think he's a little bit more dynamic than Chuba Hubbard. I think he's going to be fine. I think Etienne is going to be a suitable replacement, but I'm saying this could have been avoided. The same thing with the wide receiver room. We are literally relying on our 8th overall pick, Tetra McMillan, who you got to give credit to, looks like the real deal. Hasn't had a touchdown yet. He catches with one hand a little bit too much. Doesn't have a touchdown. The Cali connection is kind of hot and cold at times. You're relying on David Moore, who is now gone, probably for the season, probably forever. And you're relying on Bryson Tremaine. You're hoping for Jalen Coker, who is apparently making progress, but is still week to week. Like, you're Hunter Renfrow, you're relying on him. Like, the injuries are crazy right now. JT Sanders is out. Tommy Tremble tweaked his back, but he should be fine. Like, the injuries that are hitting this team is exposing the shitty drafts that have happened, the shitty free agent pickups that have happened. and it's just rearing its ugly head. And it's so hard to advance when your foundation is just so garbage. So, with that said, do I think Bryce is part of that horrible decision making? I don't know. We'll still find out what he's made of, what kind of leader he is. Apparently, he was a great leader last year when he got benched. It seems like he's that. It seems like the narrative around Bryce is that it's not entirely his fault. The injuries are awful, and just the kind of guy that he is a tractor, not a truck. He is not going to raise these guys. He is not Cam Newton 2015. Very few people are. Could Bryce have gotten that wide receiver core of that was the 2015 Carolina Panthers, and like Devin Funchess, Ted Ginn Jr., Philly Brown, Jericho Cotchery? Could he have elevated those guys? Maybe, maybe not. He did have Greg Olsen on the team. Jonathan Stewart, he had on the team. Maybe. Could he have elevated? Maybe. Maybe we can get AI to do that one day. But it's rare. It's rare to have a Cam Newton out there. And so, I don't know. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Bryce Young in his rookie year. Like, is he getting a fair shot out there to show what he can do? I mean, look at CJ Stroud, who was the apple of everybody's eye in his rookie year, and then it's starting to slowly slump. And his and now it's still the O-line. The O-line is still the problem with CJ Stroud and his development. And now CJ Stroud is saying crazy stuff, saying he doesn't feel as athletic, he's not as quick as he was. Now that he's 23, he's younger than Bryce Young, and he's talking about how he's losing athleticism. I don't know if he's just messing with people, but he's not in a favorable situation either, and he doesn't really seem like he's a guy who's elevating everyone around him either, despite the shitty situation that he's in, and the bright start that he had. So I don't know. Not everyone can play for a LA Rams or a San Francisco 49ers or a Minnesota Vikings or the Green Bay Packers, where they can sit guys for 3 years and figure it out and then finally start when they're like 27 years old. Not everyone's like that. Everyone else is kind of figure it out. So I don't know who's out there who could replace him, but it's still early. And that's the crappy part about the situation. That's why it feels so weird that we're only in week 5 and we have content creators literally quitting, and this already feels like the season's over. It'll be really over if they get blown out on Sunday to the Miami Dolphins. Like really over. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think Dave Constant's going anywhere because I don't know who you're going to put in that place to be the head coach. I think Tepper's going to let this thing burn so that he actually knows outright at the end of the year after week 18, this just clearly didn't work. I'm not going to be called the impatient owner ever again. But I think you could see Najiro Avero get jacked. He gets replaced by the defensive line coach. You can see maybe Dave Canales then giving the reins to Brad Isaac to start calling plays so that Canales can focus on actually coaching the team. But that's if it's a blowout. If the Panthers win, it's just one of those things. The next week they play Dallas Cowboys. Who's going to show up? I don't know. I guess that's some of the trademarks of a really young, inexperienced team, not just on the playing side, but on the coaching side as well. So anyways, that's my rant. Hopefully you guys stick around. Don't quit on us. And by us, I mean me. Get a shirt. See you guys Sunday.